Well, people, we have got a new installment of the VHS anthology series hitting Shudder. This one is VHS no 85. Okay. So like previous installments, we have it split into segments, right? So the umbrella segment, right? The branching piece is called Total Copy. That is directed by David Bruckner. We then go to No Wake, which is from Mike P. Nelson. Then it's God of Death by Gigi Saul Guerrero. Then we got Techno God from Natasha Kermani. And Dream Kill, right, from Scott Derrickson. Derrickson, you know the dude, right? Writing, we have got C. Robert Cargill, Zoe Cooper, Scott Derrickson, Evan Dickson, Mike P. Nelson, and Gigi Saul Guerrero. Right, producing the series is Chad Villalella, Radio Silence, Brad Miska, James Harris, Josh Goldblum, Tyler Gillette, David Bruckner, and Matt Bettinelli Olpin. Executive producing is Adam Borstein, Michael Schreiber, and Narini Hakapion. Oh, I butchered that name. Apologies. Stephen Lukac handled the music. Alexander Chinchi and Nick Junkersfed were on cinematography. Amanda Day and Jeffrey Gaffner handled the casting. Production design is Ariel Vida and Christopher Gaza. Set decoration, we have Courtney Wimberly. Megan Rebecca is on hair and makeup. And the cast, well, like, the listing's all over the place, so I'm just going to give you the actors involved, okay? We have got Freddie Rodriguez, James Ranson, Jordan Belfi, Danny Deet, Chelsea Grant, Alex Gallick, Marcio Moreno, Justin Jones, Ari Gallagher, Anna Sundberg, Forrest Harthall, Andrew Gah, Eric Pearson, Tyler Noble, Duffy McManus, Philippe Delara, Anna Hashizoom, Tom Reed, Evie Blair, Nicholas Krikla, Murray Nelson, and Renee Waboski. So the gist, right? An anonymous broadcast brings viewers forgotten nightmares of the 1980s. A disaster recovery crew unleashes the wrath of an ancient god. A lake that brings the dead back to life. A performance art piece makes contact with a creature from beyond. An all guns out undead bloodbath, and a disturbing vision of videotaped murders. Ooh, sounds very ominous, right? Now, I wasn't, for whatever reason, I couldn't really vibe with the last installment, 99. And it didn't, for me, feel as cohesive as earlier editions. But this one feels like we're back, baby. You know what I mean? Like, it's very creepy. Very creepy. Like the opening, the bridging piece from Bruckner, right? Tonal, what's it called? Tonal, copy, tonal copy, total copy, even. I mean, yo, that gets, I mean, like, because it's this whole research science project. And like, if you're not paying attention, you don't quite realize what it is, because just the wording they use, right? You think Reggie, Reese. It begins with an R, is just an everyday boy, but he's not quite like, just seems, but then when you actually look, you're like, oh, okay, something isn't quite right. And so we just, because it's like the bridging piece, so we're getting these little snippets, and you're trying to piece together what the fuck is going on. And it's just, whoa, yeah, that's very troubling. Right? The no wake is crazy. Right? Because you think, oh, it's a coming of age story. It just feels like these kids on an adventure. But then everything goes crazy, right? And you think it's done, but then we go into this whole other level of like, just, oh, what the hell? So that, and the the repercussions are very good. I enjoyed that. I definitely enjoyed that one. The third segment, right? The God of Death. That one was trickier for me. So this is the one from Gigi Saul Guerrero. And it's because it's in Mexican, so we got subtitles. But the subtitles don't, and it's the pet peeve, right? The subtitles do not have the solid block behind them. So we got this white text most of the time on a light background. So it made it impossible to really read a lot of those. Now, what the visuals were good, right? Everything, and just doing this disaster relief crew, that was it was interesting to look at visually, right? Because I'm just trying to think, like, have I seen like a horror kind of around a natural disaster like that before? And I wasn't sure. I couldn't, nothing came to mind. But yeah, it was just a problem because I had no clue what actually was happening. Right? The techno god, which is spelled TKNOGD. This one is crazy because it's like a TED talk gone wrong, but you're not quite sure how wrong at the beginning. So it's interesting seeing how they're doing it. It's kind of, it gives you some kind of Tron vibes, you know. But yeah, it's good, but then just also pretty grim because it's just like, it's a talk, so it's in front of an audience, and you're just like, yo, oh my gosh, right? So then after that, we go to Dream Kill, and this one, boy, this one is very it's crazy because you're wondering what's actually happening, because there's these tapes and there's kids and the police and just all this stuff. and you're just thinking, wait, how does, and then when you find out and you're like, oh, right. And it's like, boy, it's definitely well done. And I think with a few of them, because it's, you know, the camera and everything like that, I like the fact that it's not always clear shots of what's happening, right? And you've got the person shooting, and then sometimes they'll turn the camera around, or if they're shocked, then the camera might lower, or if they're right, you know, so everything's moving and it feels like someone is filming this thing, you know. So yeah, even though you're like, oh man, I need to see what the fuck's happening there, you're like, but that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that we've got this weird angle, right? Or it's moved away because that's what would happen, you know. So I think it's shot very well, right? It feels like the 80s tonally. It definitely feels like the 80s. And for me as well, it seemed that the stories were doing some different things that I have seen before. Now, as you know, people, horror isn't necessarily my go-to. It's, well, I think, you know, there's no even point being late. It's not necessary. No, it's definitely not. It's not my go-to. You know what I mean? But yeah, I dug it. I did dig this one. It worked so much better than the previous. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, you know, the stories like No Wake, right? Drink, yeah, I thought they were very good. And they could have been longer as well. I think though, like a lot of these stories definitely could be like feature length. Actually, all of them could be feature length, essentially. You know, they were that intriguing that you're like, oh man, I wish I got more of this, you know? So that was great. Now, this will be hitting Shudder on, I believe it is the 6th of October, right? So Friday, the 6th of October. People, you know, if you're a fan of the VHS anthologies, you know, if you like the Scar package ones, then this is for you. You know, and I will, as I said, I feel this has gone back to like the quality of the one before 99, which I cannot remember which one that was. But yeah, I mean, we're back there. So yeah, if you enjoy, I mean, if you enjoyed 91, you're gonna love 85. You know what I mean? Because I just feel it's boom, it's just better. So yeah, people, mark it down. 6th of October, VHS is back, and this time we're in the 80s, baby.